How's everybody doing? It is March 25th, about 4:30 here in Michigan. Hope everybody's doing good wherever in the world you are at. Real quick, like I said at the end of my last video, I will be going live tonight on the backup channel, ErikSeesAll 2. If you could please jump over to there, subscribe if you haven't. Also go over to BitChute and subscribe to ErikSeesAll, same as the main channel. If you haven't done that, jump over there, do that right now, come back here and then watch the video. Alright, this is a story that I kind of was just doing some research on the other day and kind of digging on a couple other things going on, and I just came across this. It's out of a article or a news place called This Day, and I just want to read it to you. Okay, it's definitely a different news article but I believe that this kind of is how you'll see the trickle down, right? Like you'll see it in like little, like different areas like this where they pull this stuff off more, because this is coming from Africa, okay? Which we know how evil what they do to people over there is, okay? We don't have to get into everything that's done in Africa with, Bill, who, the stuff that he does with the jabs, everything else that they test over there that they do, okay? But the point is that they pull off a lot of stuff there because they're always testing, right? Test. So they test there on those people, which is horrible, but that's what they do, so we have to cover it. Then they bring it to your town, to your city, to your state, your country, etc., etc. Okay, but let's read this real quick, okay? It says, the jabs must travel to the people. And I saw that, and I'm like, man, that just stands out to me. Like, that ain't good, right? That's not good. Look at, they got a little picture here, little dude on a motorcycle going to the rural areas, bringing the jabs. How convenient, right? Yep. It says, deploy motorcycle brigades and foot soldiers in villages and slums, urges this person, okay? It says, just a few words can define or change the course of human history, okay? Abraham Lincoln's 8 words, a government of, by, and for the people, define democracy forever. Martin Luther King's 4 words, I have a dream, amplified the struggles of minorities worldwide. It says, Mr. Robert Winship Woodruff was the president of the Coca-Cola Company from 1923 until 1954. His 5 words defined the key task for consumer product companies across the world for generations. He wanted to put Coca-Cola within an arm's reach of desire. Desire can be very, very different from person to person, right? Of every consumer in the world. It says Coke is ubiquitous everywhere. Coke sells 2 billion drinks daily. Every consumer product company aims to place its products at arm's length of a customer. I like how this is how they can manipulate you psychologically. They take something like Coke, right? Something that a lot of people drink. We know it's not good for you, but a lot of people drink it. My mom drinks it, and it's horrible for you, But the point is they take something like Coke that people are comfortable with, right? Something that actually, when they stressed out, they drink a Coke, whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? It's a comfort thing, okay? Then they take that and compare it to what? This, okay? The jabs, right? That's all planned. That's psychological right there. You don't even catch that, okay? You don't realize it. There's a reason they started the article that way, right? Get people feeling good. Oh, thinking about, having their pop, having their soda, right? It says, now governments across the world are struggling to place jabs at an arm's length of 7.67 billion people. Many countries are just flummoxed by the overwhelming task. Does this sound like this is something where they're only going to do it for some people? Or does this sound like they're going for every single person? Pretty sure that's pretty obvious to me, and I'm sure it is to you. A challenge confronting developing countries like India, Brazil, Nigeria, etc. with large rural populations is the distribution of the jabs to small towns, villages, and slums. It is an enormous undertaking to place the jabs at arm's length in these remote areas due to the lack of all-weather, motorable roads and logistics. I think it's funny how they use at arm's length. What does it go into? Your arm, right? Companies engaged in the retailing of consumer products in small towns and villages use grassroots distribution techniques to reach their products to consumers. It says, principally, since middlemen are not available for this last mile distribution, companies have innovated appropriate techniques like the bicycle brigades and retail foot soldiers. These mass distribution ideas can be deployed for jabs by local health authorities to ensure rapid inoculations in villages and slums. You hear this? Rapid inoculations. People, you see it, right? I hope you do, because they're screaming it at you that this is coming no matter where you live, wherever you are. I don't care. There will be a day that they will be knocking on your door telling you it's time to take the jab. Sorry, but it's there. It says CV19, and why do they have to say warrior too? I thought that part was, something. Warrior Motorcycle Brigade. The Bicycle Brigade model or distribution compromises the teams of youngsters visiting villages and slums to distribute small packs of toothpaste, washing powder, etc. The project in Africa was covered by the Financial Times in London. Bicycle Brigade take Unilever to the people. Featured in November 7, 2000. It said an organization, Riders for Health, compromising of health workers, also visited villages on motorcycle to distribute anti-malaria mosquito nets and medicines. I'm working on a video right now about these, the mosquitoes and Mr. BG and the jabs all working together. Another thing that we've talked about in the past that they love using these things right here. They are a perfect tool for whatever they want to spread. It says health departments could launch CV19 Warriors Motorcycle Brigades. These would be health workers. Listen, this is important. With ice boxes containing the jabs, mounted on motorcycles, visiting villages to inoculate locals. 2 health workers could cover 1 or 2 villages daily and jab 500 villagers daily. People, you can see it, right? Handheld terminals and printers. It says the visiting health workers should carry handheld terminals on which they would record the names, ages, and locations of the people they inoculate. Small printers should be attached to the terminals to print the jab certificates. Everybody, this is being talked about in Africa and being talked about giving jab certificates to people in the smallest, rural slums, as they just called it, okay? That's where they're going to make you have those certificates there. Do you not think in New York City, LA, Detroit, Chicago, Miami, wherever you want to say, they're not going to have them too? Come on. And look, they'll issue them immediately to the recipients of the jab. The CV19 Warriors Motorcycle Brigade program should inform the villages being visited in advance. So they'll tell you we're coming. Then the local residents will be ready. Guess where they're going to give them out to? This part always irritates me. At a central place like the village school, church, or mosque. How nice that they're going to use the schools, the churches, or the mosque. Of course, it's got to have something to do with the schools, with your children, or your religion. Something like that where you feel safe, right? That's why we feel like we're always being attacked from the inside out. Okay? You truly are not safe wherever you go. And this is not a fear. This is not me saying, be scared everywhere you go. It's called being aware. There's nothing wrong with being aware that you truly are, just always under some form of attack. Whether it's something super small or something that's super big, it doesn't matter. You need to have the mindset of always knowing that. That's all I want, you to get from a lot of these videos that I put out. The Bicycle Brigade innovation was covered in a book, Brands by Branding, by Rita Clifton and John Simmons, published by The Economist. It states, in Tanzania, where half of the population earns less than $1 a day, Unilever's new company has set up a bicycle brigade of salespeople drawn from local unemployed youngsters to supply small shops with products such as Key soap, sold in small units for a few cents. All these brand innovations deliver direct business benefits to Unilever through increased sales. And yet, they deliver powerful social benefits too, contributing to the improved hygiene and nutrition and thereby helping to tackle disease and infant mortality. See, this is another thing too. Look, this is how they manipulate you. Okay, real quick, this part. See, local unemployed youngsters. Oh, so they're not employed, so we'll give them an incentive, right? If they go and deliver these jabs, you get this kind of money, or you get this, this type of product, or whatever it is. That is how they do it. Everybody, the more that they push you into a corner, the more that they find people that are more and more, at the point in their lives, at a point in, wherever they live, where they need help, right? That's what they're always doing, is trying to push you down, that you need help. You need their help. That's what they want. So this would be their whole thing, when this comes full circle, when it's not just over in Africa, when it's in, say more developing countries, developed countries where you're in the cities, they're going to say, oh, it'll help unemployment, right? Oh, look, it'll just be like your Ubers, right? Instead of your taxis at Uber, well, that's exactly what this will be done like. Well, if you guys go and deliver these jabs, you can make money. You can feed your family. Oh, man, I can see it coming. It says, the CV-19 Motorcycle Warriors, there's a reason to the Warriors is there, too. They didn't have to say that. Comprising of health workers can make significant social contributions by accelerating jabs in the villages, slums, and the interior areas. It says, CV-19 foot soldiers. Listen to that. Foot soldiers. CV-19 foot soldiers. Do you think this is just going to be here? A major challenge in the developing countries to jab people in the villages which have no motorable roads at all. Even motorcycles find it difficult to reach some villages due to rain or slush. It says, we had an initial scheme called Mamma Mia Retail Program. It says, which translate to 100 Mama's Retail Program. These were 100 housewives who would collect a carton of toothpaste in the morning. Then they would retail the tubes to the villagers in their homes. In the evening, they returned the cash and received a commission. See? Go and take the jab, you'll get your money. Or go and deliver these jabs, and we'll give you, a money to go to like Walmart. A gift card. Geez, I couldn't think there for a second. Because you see them doing that with the jab, with the flu jab. Come in here, get your flu jab, and we'll give you a $10 gift card to our store. Kroger was doing that. I've covered it many times, okay? Same thing. These are all still the same types of, same ideas. That's all that it is, Says, the scheme can be relaunched as CV-19 foot soldiers. Health workers could carry an ice box of jabs to the villages, which are increasingly inaccessible by road, and jab the villagers. Retired doctors and health workers residing in the villages can also assist the CV-19 foot soldiers. The execution of the program on the ground will require resolving various logistical issues like sourcing and appropriate type and number of ice boxes, replenishments, meals, arrangements for the inoculators, etc. Each of the two CV-19 foot soldiers should aim to cover at least one village with 300 and 500 jabs per day. The foot soldiers will have to be trained thoroughly. They should be provided with handheld terminals, microprinters, uniforms, and identity cards. Who do you know? Look at this. What are the odds that he's in this article? Wow. Him in an article entitled Meeting the Musar. A trip to a remote corner of India taught me a powerful lesson about what it will take to wipe out polio. January 10, 2018 discusses the contribution of foot soldiers in the polio jab in India. He writes, the Indian government deployed more than 2 million jabbers who covered every speck of the country, including the Mushar village I visited, which was often inaccessible because of flooding from the Kosai River. One of the most inspiring photographs of that time was an image of a polio workers wading waist deep in water to reach remote villages with the polio jab. People, this has been set up. This has been planned. This has been tested. See, this is every bit of it. Do you think it's a coincidence that this guy is over there doing this right here, right? That this situation happened the way that it did, and now that it's all just come full circle, and now that he can say, oh, I know it worked for that time, we should do it here. And not only that, let's do it in the United States or in Europe or in Asia or wherever they want to do it, right? And say, we'll just change it a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to have people, driving motorcycles around, but we can have people go out there in vehicles, right? People, it's set up, it's planned. Oh, man. All right, I got to stop. It's too much. I'm going to get this video striked. Says, liaise with the village leaders. The CV-19 foot soldiers should liaise with the village headmen about the dates, times, and place of inoculation to ensure local support. That's right. You want to know what this is? We got to go pay them off. Not always. I shouldn't say that because I'm sure there's a lot of good people like in these types of situations over in these countries. But I know in most of our cities, whoever's at the top, most of the time they are corrupt. So that's kind of more for United States what I meant by that. But the jab will carry credibility if they are undertaken in the premises of a public health center or school. Man, see, credibility, right? That's what this is all about, right? Remember how we're in the second phase of this, the inoculation of the jab, right? Where they're trying to, persuade people like, oh, look, Dr. F just went and got his jab. It's safe. Oh, look at Biden got his jab. It's safe. Blah, blah, blah. All about persuading you, right? Convincing you. A manual detailing the work of the foot soldiers and how to conduct the jab should be prepared. Do you think this isn't already prepared? I guarantee you they're already drawn up. I bet everything on it. And they got them not just for here, they got them for wherever you're at. Every country should aim. Look at country. Here we go. Now we're not talking every little city, right? Look at this. Every country should aim to create this CV-19 foot soldiers health army to battle the pandemic. In cities, people may travel to hospitals to get jabbed. In villages, small towns, and slums, the jabs will have to travel to the people. Countries should recognize this reality and plan accordingly. Oh, man. Very, very obvious to me, right? Because this part right here, they've done it. They've planned accordingly from day one. This is a story that you need to definitely share because not only does it have... It's got everything in it, didn't it? I mean, it has almost everything in it. It's got BG in it. It's got everything that they've been talking about. And I'll tell you what, this is talking about them coming to your door. The only thing that they don't have in this, and they never will because they won't put it into the public like this, is what are they going to do to the people that say they don't want them, right? Yeah, that'll never be brought up. Not like this, it won't. But there will become a time where we're going to see this right here because it's coming, all right? I don't think it's in the next month. I don't even think it's probably in the next year. But I think probably in the next couple of years, they're not going to stop with this. So wherever this, and they've ramped it up. So, in a year I could see it. I told you, 6-7 months, I think the world is really going to change. Once they get to that step 3 of this jab, trying to push this jab, the world's going to be different. We know that. So all we can do now is prepare and plan and just keep calling them out on this type of stuff right here. Everybody stay safe, stay strong. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you all for the comments. And I will get to them as soon as I can if I haven't answered yours. And if there's anything you'd like me to make a video on, please leave it down in the comment. We'll talk to you all real soon. God bless.